welcome back to my channel and welcome to another WIP Wednesday, the last one of April. I don't know what the heck has gone on with this year. I was like, oh my gosh, March went so fast. April now too. It's like, alrighty then. Well, I hope your weather today is better than mine. I have a overcast and tons of rain, which I love. It's just for recording purposes, not so great. So hopefully the lighting is okay. I'm trying to do it without too much extra lights because otherwise my overheads show like a shadow on my hand. But I love the rainy weather. I don't love it so much with a dog. I'll be completely honest about that one. So, especially right now because we have no yard. So now it's a beautiful mud pit, and yeah, you can just imagine how fun that is to take your dog out, let them go to the bathroom, and then have to wipe all that off. So I love the rain, but wish I didn't have a dog while I had rain, or at least until I get grass. But anyway, I am working on the cover of a book. I have yet to I have yet to color a cover. Wow, that's a hard one to say. So I am doing Johanna Basford's World of Flowers, and this was totally random. It wasn't in my, April pages. I just was sitting there, and I actually had a page in this book for my April pages, and decided I wasn't feeling it anymore. And so I just happened to be sitting there, and I kind of like flipped through, and I couldn't pick anything I liked. So then I just, put it down, and all of a sudden I picked up my pencils and I started coloring the cover. So I was like, well, all right, I guess I'm doing the cover. So yeah, I'm doing the back kind of tropical-ish in my color choices. They're just really bright and not doing anything fancy. I'll add some stickles, and I don't know what I'm going to do for the background. Yeah, like I said, total whim project. I started grabbing Prismacolors at random, and here we are now. So I'm debating what I want to color next. It all started, honestly, with this flower here, and then it just kept going and going. So blame that flower. But yeah, I've been working on this backside. I'm going to do in one way, and then the front in another, because the spine separates it, so it's not like one big thing. So I thought it'd be fun to like do it differently on each one. All right, so let me get myself composed here with colors. I don't think I've colored this flower yet. I'm trying to make sure I'm not repeating. Maybe we'll just do the greenery. All right, so I hope you're off to a good week. Gosh, it's, with the week halfway over, hopefully your week went well. My weekend went so fast, it was just suddenly Monday, and I was like, no, please no, come back weekend. And I did nothing. Like, there was nothing like that made the time go fast. I literally sat on my backside and time just flew. But I really needed it. It was a very long week, and I just needed like to sit there and recharge and not put together a piece of furniture or anything like that. Just relax. I don't know. So that was my weekend. Watched a lot of ColorTube. Saw all the cool videos everyone's been posting. You might notice I tend to comment more on at least fellow colorists' YouTubes over the weekend, because that's when I like call my ColorTube time. I just have, it's like a ritual almost now. I sit down in the morning, like on a Saturday or Sunday, and I just start watching all of the videos that have been posted over the week. There have been some really cool ones. I always seem to miss everyone's live streams. I have like a printed schedule and everything, but I still miss all the live streams. I even set the YouTube reminders, and occasionally I'll pop into some of the live streams, but I'm really bad about it. It's just because something pops up. I don't know. But I myself would love to do a live stream here and there. Not a ton. I know there's some colors that are able to do it like weekly. I don't think I could commit to that just because with how things are here at the house. Maybe once the kids are all in school, and by that I mean schooling out of my house, I could consider more live streams, but it's so hard when they're here. I'm constantly having to pause my video and be like, shush, because, you know, suddenly they're fighting over who knows what. I got one kid screaming, the other crying, someone yelling, and it's just, yeah, it's a zoo. You guys don't hear it because usually I'll pause the second I start to hear things get rowdy because I know a scream or something is about to hit, but where I edit it out, I try to at least. There's been a few times where I'll watch my videos on replay and be like, ooh, sorry guys, didn't edit that in time. Or my dog barks. But yeah, it's the week's been good so far. It's getting busy though, so baseball season is upon us, and my son is really into baseball. My daughter doesn't know yet. We were going to put her in softball last year, but with all the COVID restrictions in place, it was kind of lame how they were going to play. Same thing with my son. He had to skip last year. So they start up this year, and this will be her first time doing softball. And we'll see how she likes it. She's getting kind of into it late, which is so sad to say because she's only 9 or turning 9. But, you know, these days, I mean, if you want a kid to be really good at a sport or go, like, if they really want to be good at a sport, they have to start getting in, like, super early and start doing comp leagues by, you know, this age, which is ridiculous. And then the parents are all crazy. My husband was telling me about how they went to a football game, soccer game. I can't remember, one of the ball games, and they were there, and there was players actually yelling at parents in the stands, not their parents, like parents of the opposite team, yelling at them and like cursing and like had this awful sportsmanship, and like the parents were like getting all rowdy and fighting one another, and I'm like, good Lord, isn't this like a kid's sport? I mean, I remember, so it wasn't last year because last year was COVID, but the year before that, my son's baseball game, he was going up against this one team where the coach was pretty strict, but I actually like strict coaches because I don't know, I guess just my whole experience in sports, I had coaches that actually pushed you so you learned. But anyway, this coach was really big on like teamwork and listening and all that, and there was a kid on the team who was refusing to support their pitcher, like, because the coach kept calling out, hey, you know, support your pitcher, you know, cheer him on, give him encouragement, because the pitcher was struggling, you know, something a good coach would do. And this kid like outright refused and started talking back, so the coach benched him the rest of the game for not being a team player. Now, if that happened to my kid, not only would I not be mad at the coach, but my kid would be getting a reaming from me the second they got home, because I'm really big on that too. Like, you should support your teammates, you know, encourage them. If they're struggling, like, let them know they're not sucking, you know, give them some support. Well, so this kid's parents were ticked that he was pulled from the game. And this is a rec league, by the way, so it's not a comp league where anyone paid anything other than like the $30 registration fee. So the dad got so enraged that after the game, he went after the coach with a baseball bat. Like, no joke, went at him with a baseball bat. I witnessed it. I was literally had to like witness that whole experience. Thank goodness my kid wasn't with me, because I was actually on my way to go talk to that coach because he coached a comp team. And I saw the guy just come up, and He didn't strike the coach with a bat because one of the parents, another parent, saw him going after him and like grabbed him and pretty much wrestled him to the ground with the help of others. But he actually was going to go smack that coach in the head with a freaking metal baseball bat. And so it doesn't surprise me anymore that some parents take it to the extreme after I saw that. Like, I mean, cops were called. The guy even went to jail for assault. Like, he straight up got arrested and he was convicted. And the whole time I was thinking, oh my gosh, what are you teaching your kid? So if your kid decides that he doesn't want to be a team player or doesn't like what the coach does, just go attack him with a baseball bat and that's the solution. Like, so it was, I don't know, like, it was just amazing. And so when my husband was saying he couldn't believe, like, how people were acting at this game, it's like, I know. And here we are going back into sports. Like, please don't have that again, because this is just beyond stupid. Especially a rec league. Oh my gosh. Come on, guys. It's, like, not that much money, and it's not that hardcore. I know in comp leagues, parents get even crazier because they spend so much money. And my son would really love to do comp. But we have some custody issues that get in the way of that that I don't really feel like getting into. I'm all for it. We don't have support from the other side to accommodate the demands of a comp team, so he can't. Now, if my daughters ever wanted to, I would totally support it. I think kids should always be in sports if they want to. If they really, really don't want to, you know, they can always find their niche. Some kids really want to do music or art. But I always think kids should be able to pick something, a hobby of some sort, and just let them do it. So this year, my daughter is doing softball. Like I said, she had wanted to before, after watching my son play baseball so much. She was like, well, maybe I'll try it. And so I support her trying it. I am a little nervous because she's deathly afraid of the ball coming at her. And this league is machine pitch. So she's kind of in luck because my son is so hardcore into baseball. We bought a batting cage. So we actually have a pitching machine and batting cage. Right now they're sitting on the side of my house, not the pitching machine, that's in the garage. But the batting cage poles and stuff, and my husband needs to set it up for my son because baseball season seriously just creeped up out of nowhere. Like, I got a text saying my daughter's first practice was this Saturday, and I'm like, whoa, they're there already? Oh, okay. So we need to get that cage up and she can practice. The only bummer is our pitching machine is set for baseball. So I can like angle it and have it lop in, you know, kind of come in at an angle like it would with softballs, but she's going to have to hit baseballs. The machine can't pitch a softball. But hey, if she can hit a smaller target, a softball will be even easier, right? So hopefully we can get that up. And I know some of you are probably like, oh my gosh, you bought your kid a batting cage? Let me explain. Out here, or like when I grew up, there was actual places that were batting cages only. Like they were built in warehouses, right? And you paid like $5 or $10. And you got in and you do your batting practice and go home for the day. Well, out here, there's no place that's just a batting cage. They're all at like these amusement type parks. So you have to pay the entrance fee, and then, you know, it's like there's go-karts and all these other activities at these places. So it's really hard to just take your kids there for that one thing and then be like, all right, let's go. And they're expensive. So I looked at the cost of like, okay, say I took him 3 times a week, you know, how much would it cost me in gas, time, and then the actual cost going there, because none of them were close by. The closest one was still a 20-minute drive. So it was 40 minutes each way. I would have to drag all the kids along with me. And then batting cage practice, you don't do that for like hours. You wear out your arm pretty quick. Like 10 to 15 minutes in a batting cage is a lot. So I would be doing 40 minutes of driving for maybe max, if I pushed my son, 20 minutes of practice. And then on top of that, the cost. So we just made the decision to invest in a batting cage, and any team he ever ends up being on, we offer it, free of charge. Any parent can bring their child. They just, of course, have to sign a liability waiver, because if you're going to be an idiot in my batting cage, I'm not paying for the hospital bill. But like, they wear helmets, we have strict rules, but yeah, we share it with anyone that my kids are on teams with, and it's just good practice. Plus, when it was here at the house, my son could go out 3 times a day. So I would like make him go do 10 minutes in the morning and then 10 minutes after lunch. And just, he'd have to hit X number of balls before he could come in or stuff like that. But he literally had to walk outside. It truly paid for itself. Like, I remember before we got it, he was really struggling with his swing and just timing and everything. And so we got it mid-season, and even his coach commented, he's like, I can't believe how improved his batting got. And it was just because he had access to it. So, I mean, it was expensive, but the cost in the long run of taking him and then the time and everything to the cages, or not even the cages, the place that have cages, after we factored that all in, it seriously paid for itself, especially because he got more practice time out of it. And, because like I said, I would send him out there 3 times a day and be like, you're using this thing, dude. But it was fun. Like, my husband would use it because he used to play baseball in high school and college, so he had a blast. A lot of our friends would come over. In our old neighborhood, there was a couple other kids that played baseball, so they would come over and use it for practice. So it was kind of cool to just be able to be like, yeah, I got a cage, go back there and practice, as much as you want. I told people to use it as much as they wanted, because that was kind of the thing, just accessibility. So yeah, we do need to get that set up and get my daughter in there and start having it lop balls at her and get over the fear of getting hit by a ball. It's really funny because when my son first started playing baseball, he was afraid too. He's not anymore. But he was really afraid of getting hit by a ball. And I was like, dude, it rarely happens in baseball. And of course, I know you get hit by the ball all the time, but you don't tell them that. You're like, no, that's rare, And I kid you not, the next day at his next game, his friend's up to bat, and instead of turning and taking the hit on, his back, he stuck his hand out when the ball came at him, and it shattered all his fingers. I was like, well, that one backfired really quick, because my son was like, oh yeah, so no one ever gets hit, Mom, huh? Okay, well, so yeah, they do get hit, but the extra lesson here is don't put your hand out to stop the ball. But yeah, so I'm not going to do that one with my daughter because I'm afraid something will happen, but we'll see how it goes. I haven't heard from my son's coach yet, just hers, but I'm assuming I'll hear this week when his practices start, and so I won't have many lazy weekends anymore, which is good. Very good. I've had too many lazy weekends and all that. Gosh, I think I've had a whole lazy year. 2020 was lazy. We basically always stayed home. We never went anywhere. We had that lockdown, but even then, when the lockdown lifted, we stayed home just for safety precautions. But my husband and I were talking the other day, a lot of people are vaccinated. The people we were worried about getting sick have been vaccinated now in our family. So it's not as big of a deal, because before the kids could never go play with friends. They stayed at home and they didn't go to school. They stayed at home. But now with the people in our family vaccinated that we were worried about, we both kind of just decided, we got to get out there. we lost an entire year to this. Like 2020, seriously, doesn't even exist to me. Does anyone else have that? Like, when you say last year, you find yourself referencing something in 2019. And then, because I'll have people go, in 2019, you mean? And I'm like, oh yeah, that year. Like 2020 just, there was nothing memorable. Like, I look back at it and everything was different. Our, Christmas, we didn't do anything that we normally do for Christmas. Thanksgiving, the kids' birthdays, none of their sports. We were like hermits for a year. So there was like no memories for 2020 other than me doing mandalas, sitting on the couch. Aside from, working and stuff. But that's kind of how I feel about that whole year. So we decided, we're going to let the kids go out, get outside, play with friends, see family again. Because they say if your family has been vaccinated, you all can congregate once again. So we're going to do that, and that's why we're having them go back in the fall. That's why they're starting their sports again. It's just, we got to get on with it as best we can while still being safe. Like, I know they lifted the mask mandate here, but I still wear my mask because it's a courtesy. Not everyone has been vaccinated. Not everyone can be. But it's just a courtesy to the people who go there, work there, and I don't really mind. It's not a political thing for me. I don't give a crap. Like, if you need, I just wear the mask. I'm not making a political statement, just putting over a mask. I don't know. It's kind of like when a surgeon comes to operate on me. He's not making a statement. He's just, being generous and not giving me a staph infection or something. I don't know. It's just kind of how I look at it. I mean, gosh, I think during flu season, we should just have masks anyway, like they do in pretty much most of Asia. Have you ever been to Japan during like a non-COVID thing? They're always wearing masks. It's not a big deal, and they don't make it a big deal. So it's kind of like, to me, I think, man, flu season would probably be a lot like less to deal with if we all just threw on a mask during flu season. I don't know. Yes, you should get exposed to germs, build up your immunity, but I'm just saying. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, but yeah, so things are going to get busy with baseball. And this is good because the other day I decided I really need to make some life changes. Everyone jokes like about the COVID 10 or 20 pounds that we all put on during COVID. There was like a meme that went around that was like the 2 ways you can come out of COVID. And it was showing, what's his name? Now I can't think of his name, but the guy that plays Thor. Remember, in one of the Avengers movies, Thor was all like fat and overweight and disgusting. So they had like the picture of him with his beer belly, and then they had the other picture of him just all ripped and muscly and all very good looking. And it was like the meme that went around saying this is the 2 ways you can come out of COVID. Because I had like a few friends that like just hardcore worked out every day at home, had nothing better to do, and they look awesome. I did not take that route. And so my COVID 10, 20, whatever, mine turned into COVID 30. So I gained 30 pounds since last year, and it all just like slowly crept on. But now that it's there, I know it's there. Like I can see it in my face. I can see it when I try to put on my jeans. Nothing fits. And that's because 2020 was like the year of sweatpants. I don't know. I just had no reason to get dressed. So I definitely need to get back in shape. I need to eat better, not just for weight loss, but I have a chronic stomach condition that has been flaring up like crazy because I'm not being mindful of what I eat, and I'm paying for it so bad. So I really need to get back on track with just everything, being active. But it's hard because I'm really struggling to find the energy to do it. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to get off my butt and get moving, but I have like zero motivation. I'm also one of those people that really hate to work out. If it's called a workout, I don't want to do it. And I know some people say like just push through it and eventually you'll become like a workout junkie and love it. That's not true because back in the day I pushed through it. I was really fit. I had a period where I actually had a really fit, awesome looking body, but I still hated every minute of it. I freaking dreaded it. Like, and that's why I ended up not maintaining it because I just hated it. Like, I don't know. I just hate working out. Like, I've tried all sorts of different ones. I've tried cycling, walking on treadmills, Pilates, yoga, ballet stuff. I mean, I hate HIIT ones, like the, by HIIT I mean HIIT. Those ones are the worst. Anything super like high impact that hurts your knees, I have trouble doing anyways because my knees took a lot of damage from years of springboard diving and gymnastics. But yeah, I'm that's part of the reason I'm struggling is like I need to get in shape, and losing weight is 80% diet, so that part I definitely have to fix, but you still got to do some working out to get rid of the pudgies and firm things up. But I just can't seem to motivate myself. And then the worst thing is I'm a stress eater. I'm a big stress emotional eater. And I have been just extra high strung these days. Just, house shopping, life, I don't know, everything. And so I'm a stress eater, and I love sweets. Like those are what calm me down. I met someone the other day who was like, "Oh, I hate sweets." I'm like, "Oh, I wish I want that trait. I want the anti-sweets trait." So I need to find a way to kind of curb my stress and anxiety so I stop stress eating. And it's been kind of rough because I'll be like, all right, wake up this morning, I'm going to get moving, I'm going to eat right, and then just something gets me frazzled to the point where I stress eat, and it's like, then all day I have the self-guilt trip, that vicious cycle where then you just feel bad and crappy all day because you didn't achieve your goals, and yeah, and it goes downhill from there. So if anyone has any advice, or if you too are trying to drop the COVID 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever you gained, I am down to be like your accountability buddy. Like if you have a Fitbit, let's do some Fitbit challenges. I'd love that because I am a very competitive person. So yeah, just any of that would be fun, or if anyone has any tips, advice, going through similar things, especially if you have the stress eater problem as well. I'd love to hear how you get around that or any tips and tricks you got there, because I am struggling. Not gonna lie, I'm trying so hard. It doesn't help that my job requires me to sit, and I had thought of getting one of those standing desk things. It just didn't work for my office. But yeah, I definitely got to do something, guys. Like, my clothes don't fit. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, ugh, like, how did I get that way? I know how I got that way, but I'm just asking myself, like, why? But it's there and now I gotta deal with it. I can't just run away and pretend it didn't happen. See, I'm basically trying with little itty bitty baby steps right now. Trying to not scare myself off with anything super hardcore. But I need to find a groove for working out and getting in shape. which will help my stress and like all that too. I mean, exercise and mental health are very much like together, especially if you suffer from depression, but it also helps with anxiety. You know, a tired body, it's really hard to sit there and be anxious when you're like freaking exhausted. So, but no, I know it would help me with all my other problems as well. And then I wouldn't have to sit there and stress and obsess over the fact that like I failed at eating healthy that day or whatever guilt trip I put myself on. Right now, I'm trying to do very small, actionable goals. Like, so this week I just started with, I was going to get back to taking vitamins. I mean, I'm not some young spring chicken. I do need to take vitamins. Even if I ate like the healthiest diet in the world, I probably should stay on supplements. And because of my stomach condition, this one medication I take, I have to take magnesium and calcium daily. Even if I was on the world's best diet, I have to. There's no way I could supplement just with diet alone. So my goal this week was just, you know, it wasn't fitness or eating or anything related. It was just take your vitamins every day. Like simple baby step kind of thing, you know, because the vitamins will give me energy. They will make me feel, you know, better, which might help also. So that was kind of my mini goal this week, is just get those vitamins into my body and then go from there. And so, yeah, I'm trying that. But if you guys have any like tips, maybe some small, like little goals you do to help you get back in shape, or if you have any awesome motivational stories of, you know, how much weight you lost and how you did it, love to hear it. I'm like, the other day I felt like I'm so old. I'm never gonna lose that weight like I did back in my 20s. Like, you know how you feel like you permanently destroyed your body gaining all that weight, and I know I can lose it because I've seen people do it. It's not impossible. It's just a little harder if you get old, you know, as you age, but it's not impossible. And it's partially me just trying to think of an excuse of why it just doesn't matter, but I definitely do want to get in shape for this summer and just for the rest of the year. At least get back down to my old weight, for Pete's sake, so I don't have to go buy clothes. I hate clothes shopping in general, but right now I would really hate it because I'd be multiple sizes from what I used to buy. So yeah, definitely share any tips, tricks. Let me know. You can email me. My email address is always in my little description below. You can email me if you want to do some Fitbit challenges and groups, or, you know, buddy accountability. I'm down. Always love those. I do the Fitbit challenges right now with my mom and sister, but it's oops. I don't find that one easy to compete with because it's just my mom and sister. You know, it's like, I'm not worried about disappointing them if I only get, you know, 2,000 steps today. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I remember I was with one friend, we used to do it all the time, but his Fitbit he no longer uses, but he would do like so many steps per day, and it was so motivating to try and beat him. I never did because the guy was just a freaking machine, but I kept trying. The one person I won't do Fitbit groups with is my aunt. Love the woman to death, but she walks like 40,000 steps a day. I kid you not. I don't know how she does it. She does a 7-mile walk every morning and then just nonstop paces. I don't One time I tried, and I think the highest I've ever gotten was like 25 maybe. I don't know how 40K happens. But she also lost like a ton of weight, so it was really cool for her. She did the whole Weight Watchers thing and lost a whole ton of weight. Looks amazing. And she did all that like when she was in her 50s. So it can be done no matter how old you are. I just need to motivate myself. It just sucks when like the two things that are the cornerstone of your life, like my work and my favorite hobby, both are sitting, you know, like my job is at a computer, so I have to sit at a desk. I like to color. It's not like I can color while on the treadmill, you know, I could stand and color, but that would really mess up my back and neck, so I don't know how much I would gain through that. So yeah, it's kind of, that part sucks, like that those are the things that bring me joy or require me to sit. What color should I do those? I think I'm going to color this one here. Yeah, let's see. So, nothing really new around here other than the baseball season starting. Oh, I guess we're still waiting to do our fence, but today it's raining, so I'm thinking the fence isn't going to happen this week either. I can tell my husband's like beyond annoyed. I mean, he's used to me and my nagging, but he's reached a breaking point with my nagging skills over the fence because they were supposed to work on it tomorrow and finish it tomorrow. And so I was like, it's all going to be done. Life is going to be great. And then it rains today. And so I sent him this message at work. I'm like, so I assume with the rain, that means there will be no fence. And he sent the snarkiest response, but it was very appropriate. I mean, because I've been nagging him for over a month now. And it's just bad luck. Every time they're going to work on the fence, it's freaking windstorm or it's raining or snowing. And then, you know, they go back on duty. So then we got to wait for their next days off. And like they only get a couple hours. And like right now, everything on the fence is up except the gates and the one side we had to fix because they accidentally fenced a side that was supposed to be another double gate. Because our new property has 1.28 acres, and so we're not fencing that whole thing. No way, not with the price of construction materials right now. That'd be, woo, that'd cost a lot. So we're just fencing off like a good chunk to make our backyard, and then the rest of the acreage, I don't even know what we're gonna do with it, to be honest. We haven't decided, and we're not even thinking about it right now. There's just too many other things to do. But because we have that huge amount of property behind the fenced area that we still have to maintain, we needed a double gate on one side to enter the fenced area and then a double gate that goes through, so like you could drive a truck from our driveway through the backyard and into the unfenced acreage behind it. So they had accidentally fenced that section. So they were, had to pull the posts, and that's what they're going to do tomorrow, was reset the posts so that they could support a double gate. But with all this rain, I don't think it's going to be set because you can't do concrete and like mud. And it's like legit pouring today. So, and then, yeah, from there, they just have to hang the rest of our gates. So we'll see. I really would love the fence to be done just because the dog is starting to drive me bonkers. Driving us all bonkers. And it's driving her bonkers. Like, she's starting to rebel. That little turd. So she wanted to be left on the deck. And I left her out there and I looked out and she started chewing at the tarp that's covering my outdoor furniture. And then another time she actually chewed some of the wicker of the new couch or outdoor couch thingy I bought. I haven't had a chance to sit on any of these because since I put them together, we've had nothing but cold, windy, crappy weather. So I haven't even gotten to enjoy these things. They've been covered in a tarp, and she's slowly eating holes in the tarp. But then today, I go out there and she chewed a hole through the tarp and through one of the seat cushions, and I was just so livid. Not only because I don't know what her deal is, she's rebelling because she wants to just go roam the land and she's mad that she can't. And you know, a bored dog is a destructive dog, but then I was also ticked because they're brand new and I haven't even sat on them. Like literally the day I put them together, it was starting to rain, so I covered them all up. I have not sat on that freaking couch that I put together. And then at the same time, I'm like, I don't even know why I rushed to buy the stupid couch because we bought a house in March. I knew the weather would be crap for a few weeks. Like, I don't even know why I bought it right then and there. But I'm hoping it will not be torn to pieces by the time I can finally sit on it. So yeah, I'm just hoping our dog will hold out a little while longer. Myself, my son and daughters. Everyone's getting sick of walking the dog, and the dog is sick of us walking her too. Like, it's mutual. We're all just like, ugh. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping they will set the posts tomorrow, but even if they do, they can't hang a gate on posts that are setting, so they may be able to put up the other 3, so at least those are done, and then I can be crafty and find a way to block the other open gate. I don't know. I just need something to move on that fence. Like, I almost need that more than furniture. If I had to trade, I would have taken the fence over the furniture at this point, just because, like I said, the dog's getting destructive. And the creepiest thing the other night, I go walk her, it's, you know, before bed, and it's pitch black out there, and because our new home is like in the middle of farmland, there's no street lights or anything. It is dark out there. And so like I kept hearing this like rustling in like the tall grass near me, and it could have just been the wind because the storm was coming in. But I don't know, like I got legit freaked out to the point where I like just grabbed the dog's leash and dragged her behind me and like ran inside like a little scaredy cat. And then I like was locking all the doors, and like it freaked me out because it was dark and you could just hear something moving in the grass, and it was like, is that the wind? Is it a snake? There are coyotes out here, but it's not like they're gonna come after me, you know, but like, was it a coyote running through there? Was it a monster? I don't know. I didn't have my flashlight either because I had walked, by the time I got her on the leash and out there, I was like, oh crap, I forgot the flashlight, whatever, and just went about, you know, I was like, we'll just be out here a minute. So I couldn't even like point a flashlight over there. But at the same time, like, you think of all like those scary movies you've ever watched, and something's rustling in the bushes and they point the flashlight at it just as it's like launching at them in the camera. Yeah, that what was going through my head. So I was like, maybe it was good I didn't shine light on it. Yeah, I ran into my house like a big scaredy cat, locked the doors, everything. I'm like checking out the windows, see if any like monsters like lurking in my backyard. I didn't really think there was a monster, but it actually freaked me out because it was just so dark and I couldn't see anything. My dog wasn't really like acting like any different though. So I really think it was just the wind, because my dog would have done something. I mean, she's no guard dog by any means. Huskies are the world's worst guard dogs ever. They're legit stupid friendly, but like, you know, she would have like perked up or done something, like, because she's a natural like high prey drive dog. So if there's something for her to chase, she would have like been on it. And she didn't even seem to care. So it was probably the wind, and I'm just a big scaredy cat. But yeah, totally not doing that again tonight. No, she's just going to have to deal with going in the mud. I'm not walking out in that field in the dark. something's out there. But yeah, so I really want a fence now because this whole, like, you know, adventuring into the open with no flashlight and just things rustling in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh. Like, I wish I was kidding about what a scaredy cat I was, but I'm straight up admitting it. I was scared. And yeah, I was probably scared of a breeze, but whatever. Love this combo. This is one of my favorite purplish pink combos, by the way. And I'll tell you what it is in a second after I finish each one of these little individual petals. But yeah, with this cover, I was like, I'm not doing anything fancy. So you'll notice, like, on the leaves and even the flowers, like the extra fine details, I'm just skipping over them and coloring it, like just color blocking the whole thing. And that's just because I didn't want to do anything super fancy schmancy. I wanted to keep it simple and fun, and I'll go back and embellish with like some Posca or white gel pen or stickles, you know, but I'm not gonna sit here and blend and create like a ton of realistic flowers. I don't know, I just wanted to have fun. Now the front cover, maybe I'll do a little more, you know, intricate, I guess is the word. But yeah, with the back, I was just, I don't know, wanted to keep it chill. And like I said, this was totally on the fly because the page I had picked in this book, I decided I didn't want to do anymore. And so it was just sitting there in front of me. And I just picked up a pencil and started coloring a flower. And then I was like, all right, I guess we're committed now. Let's finish this back cover. I might even use my Neo colors or something for the back, or the background, I mean. Let's see. Oops, going out of the line because my pencil's dull. But yeah, one of my favorite colors. That same combo is used up here. It's just darker up here because I was a little heavier with my darker color. In fact, I might even have to go back and like darken this one after the fact, but let me give you the combo because we're pretty close to an hour, so let me get them all out and then I'll tell you the combo in case you ever want to replicate it. Okay, so the combo is Dahlia Purple PC1009. It's your darkest. We're going dark to light. Then you have Mulberry PC995. And then you have Process Red, which is PC994. And then Hot Pink, PC993. It's one of my favorite color combos. It's like a pinkish, purplish. And depending on how much of the purple you use before you get into the pinks, it could be more purpley, like this flower up here. Or it can be more pinkish, like the one down here, because I have more pink on the tip. But it's one of my favorite. I use it for Hannah Lynn hair a ton too. It's so it gets repurposed for a lot of things. Flowers, hair, just about anything. But yeah, I think I will darken up some of those. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up this week's WIP Wednesday. I forgot to ask for questions, but as always, if you have any questions, coloring related, questions for me, any ideas or motivation for losing some weight, I'd love to hear all of those. Just drop them in the comments below. But thank you guys for hanging out with me while I work on this back cover, and hopefully it'll show up in my April completed pages if I keep working along. But until then, have a great rest of your week.